The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.
You know, there I was very sad to hear of the passing of Bob Jones, Sir Robert Jones. The last contact I had with him was last year when he sent me a copy of his latest book. They always came with a personal note. When I say personal, a letter he would have dictated and had typed up and signed himself. He was from a different era of sorts. I never received an email from Bob Jones, only letters. Last time I dealt with him in person was in his office in Wellington overlooking the harbour. That too was from an era, beautifully set up as you would well imagine, but in a time and place kind of way. A lot of panelling, a lot of staff. His office was large and on a corner, of course. He smoked. That became a thing. Back in the Helen Clark days when she was busy making rules around smoking indoors, Bob was having none of that, because in his office he was the boss, if not the king. So last time I was in his office, we had wine, always wine, sat amongst swirling tobacco smoke coming out of his pipe. The artwork was worth the trip alone. He had one, fantastic taste, and two, a fantastic collection. He also had one of the best brains you will ever encounter. What was often lost by many in the barrage of cantankerous verbiage was the amount of knowledge and wisdom that he'd gleaned from a lifetime of reading and travel. There wasn't a place he hadn't been to. He had more stories than you ever had time to hear, or indeed he had time to tell you. A small irony I noted on Friday night when I watched the television coverage of his passing. They made much of the Rod Vaughan helicopter encounter, the irony of that one being no one these days hires a chopper to go looking for a fisherman. And TV3 reflected the modern malaise, sadly. His passing was the second story I noted behind the weather, even though the weather was the day before's news. It showed a lack of understanding of who Jones was and what he contributed to the country, and that's the problem, sadly, with the modern newsrooms. The institutional knowledge has left the building. From business to politics to public discourse, Jones was an invaluable addition to the national psyche, unafraid, bold, brilliant with the language, and fantastically funny because he was fantastically irreverent, even when irreverence was wildly more tolerated than it is these days. It was a great life, and he was a great man.
The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.